Let's get it. Okay.
Drinking a big wave today.
And when was the first time you had those?
Maybe in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you went to Hawaii, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, last year in February.
Yeah, I was in I think 2010 I went there, but it was the first time. It's a good brewery.
Yeah.
I was so happy you drink it. Anyway, yeah, I'm drinking Tenets. I've been drinking this before. It's a good price. Great
Cheers to
location.
that.
Book
Cheers
some
to that.
beers. Let's get it started.
Yeah, actually, I found this beer by searching through the internet.
Interesting.
On Google, like Hawaiian craft beer,
Oh.
and it popped up, and so it's a good beer.
Yeah, they
and
definitely-
so actually, that's a good intro to what we're talking about today. It's how the internet happened, from Netscape to the iPhone, by Brian McCullough.
McCullough.
Apologies if we said your
Thank
name
you, sir.
wrong, but-
Okay. So let's get started. Why should I read the book?
Yeah, so it's a really lively narrative about how the commercial internet happened. So it's basically a history of these famous commercial companies, household names for Americans, and how they got started in the internet. So how they got started on the internet. Excuse me. And for us, we kind of lived through that. So we were kids at the time. I remember using Netscape Navigator for the first time, and in the third grade, and somebody's like, "This is the internet."
I remember getting in the mail those hard, they're not floppy disks, but those hard disks of America Online coming in with how many minutes I could spend on the internet.
Yeah, and then the CDs as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so Brian in the book, he actually talks about that about the marketer who came up with that idea, because they didn't know, how can we get people to access online? How can we get them online? And so it's one of the greatest marketing campaigns in history up until that point. And so he tells a narrative story about how that happened. I wouldn't say it's a narrative story, but he chronologically goes back from the browser wars, and how can we get people on the browser wars, and then talks about Mosaic and then Netscape and Mark Andreessen, and how they were students at the University of Illinois and Champaign, and then quit their jobs and developed this browser. And then he goes into a story about Microsoft trying to stop them once they realized how powerful the internet would be. Because Microsoft at the time, they didn't realize how powerful it would be, and Microsoft was a dominant player in 1995.
It blows my mind thinking about that. It's so everywhere. But
and then he chronicles kind of Amazon as well, and Jeff Bezos working at E.E. Shaw, which is a hedge fund.
I didn't know that
company. And
I had no idea.
He quit his job. And so, the book is a real good cursory, excuse me, I'm getting lost in my words here, but it's an overview of these internet companies. And so it's a good introduction, and then you can actually go deeper into the subjects by some other books, which we talked about before, maybe like Amazon book.
Yeah.
And then maybe history of eBay, and then just different books, examples. So it's a good book to learn about cursory experience of the internet. So how these companies got started and what they did, and then he goes all the way up until the iPhone. So he talks about Amazon, Apple, eBay, Microsoft a little bit, but Microsoft starts more in the 80s than anything. But he does talk about the launch of Windows 95, but he's mainly focusing on the internet companies. And so eBay was huge, and then he talks about LimeWire and Napster and Kazaa, and some of the guys that actually, after Napster's downfall, I think it was Kazaa, they actually started Skype as well.
Really?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
They started Skype, and then Skype was sold to eBay, and then finally Microsoft bought Skype from eBay a couple of years ago. But yeah, so it's a good book if you want to learn about how these companies got started, and then the links between these companies, and then also learn about the people who were involved in these projects. And so for me, I always follow, if I come across a name in a book, then I look them up on Twitter, and then I follow them on my personal account, and then you can read from them. These guys most of them were very young,
Mm.
in their 20s when they started these internet companies, so they're still very active today. And then you can follow them on Twitter and get some more information.
It's wild.
And,
I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of us, it happened super quick. I mean, when we lived through this, and even I completely forgot about Kazaa. I remember downloading like Dragon Ball Z animated music videos with that, and it was Linkin Park. You know, what was Goku doing with that? But no, it's just wild. So just hearing you talk about that is bringing me down memory lane.
So yeah, for us, I mean, we grew up with it. So since we were kids, like, I mean, it's just very natural for us to use these things. But like, I guess for people that are 10 years older than us, or now maybe in like their mid 40s or late 40s and then in their 50s, like this stuff is like totally new. I mean, I guess it's probably like kind of cryptocurrency for us now at this time, like trying to understand something and kind of like a fundamental shift in how business is done and how communications is changing.
You know, this makes me think I got to talk about another book by Tyler Cowen, but maybe that's going to be for another time.
Which one? What could that be? Like Tyler Cowen?
Oh, there's a lot, but I'm going to save that for another time.
Another time. Another time. So the book is called How the Internet Happened, and it's a commercial about the commercial internet, not the kind of scientific. He does touch on like ARPANET a bit at the beginning, but that's it. And then he goes on, and then he also talks about Facebook as well. That's one that I left out, and MySpace and Friendster, all of that.
Friendster, I don't know that.
As I was reading, it was a walk down memory lane for me. I remember when I opened my first Facebook account in October 2006.
2016. And then I quit it like 8 months later.
That's maybe smart because now we're seeing a backlash in terms of privacy and things like that. So the problems aren't over, Zuckerberg. It's not over for you. And so the thing is still evolving. So maybe next month Facebook will release a kind of cryptocurrency coin. They call it Global Coin.
Wild.
And so let's see if that will change their business model a bit. Who knows? But I look forward to reading it in the sequel from you, Brian. So,
but hey,
it's a good book, and take a walk down memory lane if you're in your late 20s or early 30s. So it's great. And, cheers to that.
Absolutely.
And I've been Zach.
Still Tom.
And this is Books and Beers.